Hi, Cancer. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. We're happy whenever you find this. Right? Inshallah. So, Cancer. There was this sort of cheerleader bit of energy. It's like, you can do it. You can do it. But it came after doing some small things that are sort of basic. Try to rejoice as much as possible in the small things, in the little tasks, in the day-to-day, right? I would also say that you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself. If you haven't been feeling very attractive or that kind of energy, I feel like that's better. I would also say this is a nice time for you to put a little bit of, again, love into your day-to-day. This also has to do with love in perhaps even your own image a bit. Not out of vanity, but just realizing, like, how beautiful it is to have a body and all the parts, and appreciating them, the parts you can see, the parts you cannot see. Right, putting a little extra time into the little parts really connects to the whole, right? It also shows a good amount of I'm seeing an amount of self-respect. Okay, so you ended up with the star and the dog, which is beautiful. Starting out with the star is wonderful. In the game of hope, receiving the star means that you actually receive six pieces of silver for that. This card represents prosperity and clarity, finding your place in a space. I also see this would be a wonderful time for any of you who want to have a dog or would like to take on the responsibility of a pet. I see this a little bit more as less cat. It's more dog, which is something that kind of needs us, right? A cat doesn't need us. A dog, what do they say? Man's best friend, right? Because this card is also about loyalty and friendship. So there's also some really beautiful friendships here. I also see like being easier on yourself emotionally. Maybe it's sharing some of that loyalty and that love and faith that you generally give out to the world back into yourself also, or finding a better balance with that. You also have the card of Jupiter, which states useful activity, which is kind of an emphasis of what I saw before, rejoicing in these really tangible, basic, I call it the art of sweeping, right? Let's see. It's funny I didn't open this card. Let's see what this card's about. Oh, another 6. So the 6 of Pentacles. Let's see here. So this card is also about generosity, and it's about both of these are about gifts. Jupiter is also a gift or a blessing. What are your future plans right now, Cancer? Like, not only how you'd like this month to go or what you need to achieve or how you want to kind of... I feel like there's an adjustment in an energy. So this is adjusting your day-to-day, which is helping this physical outside world shift, is giving a lot of creativity. There's also a lot of healing in that. Like, especially if your energy has been a little bit low or kind of dense, I feel like that's also something, like a little bit of exercise could also help that. Right, and again, dog to me is always regularity, right? It has a purpose and a time frame. There's a very set, regimented time frame around that. Maybe for some of you, would you like your work schedule to be like? Or I guess some of you could also be moving in some kind of way, some sort of expansion, but there's also direction. And I see wherever you're going, it's taken a lot of work to arrive at this place. It's also I see a fair handshake. But I guess for you, Cancer, what do I see here? Well, you have to be open to receive the blessing, right? You have to approach something, be like, hi, hey, how's it going? There's also a bit of this where it's just like, no, sorry, don't have time right now because you have other things, responsibilities you have to attend to. Find that good balance, and I really see a lot of success coming to you. Also feel like there could be some healing with the mother, or healing emotionally in some kind of place. Something really balances out. It's like emotional, physical, like earth and water. So, what am I seeing here? This hand is showing me a lot of, we are, what do I see? We are what we do, right? Like what we touch with our hands, what we create with our hands. That's a big part of it, because it's the physical manifestation of spiritual spaces, whether we're conscious of them or not, right? Let's see. What are the contracts that you have made recently? With others, with yourself? Because we have this card of possible plans, it's not impossible, but I guess you would have to, for something to pan out, right, for the plan to pan out, you have to be loyal to that plan, right? It's, there has to be a good bond with that, right? Like a kind of a dedication or holding on to something. Have like a lasting effect. So I guess, again, if your energy's been low, or you've been kind of in your head or a little bit moody, say over the last, I don't know how long it was, depending where you are. Again, I see the energy being, you becoming more helpful. Maybe this is also helping yourself. This is also asking for help when you need it, right? Like, hey, I need a hand, right? I really need a hand. But I see don't expect any handouts either, right? Because with Six of Pentacles, it has to be a fair exchange. Because it's in the upright, and Jupiter here, and the star, the dog, it's all very, very, very positive. Let's see what these possible plans are about. It's plans too. It's multiple plans, right? It's not a plan. It's not like just relying on one thing. You know, like setting yourself up for failure. It's like looking at what all the possibilities are. And remember, you start small, then you build, right? You have to have an idea. You got to feel good about that. Understand your effort in it and what it takes for you to put that in. Where you need help again, where you need to figure it out on your own, because that's part of the spiritual lesson, right? And then, well, putting a time frame around something also. But I see for you in this time frame, the more you pay attention to the day to day, and again, these basic kinds of like your sleep schedule when you go to bed. I also see nighttime between 7 and 9. Around 8 o'clock, I would definitely kind of step back from the to-dos or distractions. You wanna, it's like 7 to 9, 6 to 8. Let's see. Oh, I see. You're always connected to other people, right? So, let's see what's going on with other people quickly. I don't know why we said quickly. How many cards do we have? Oh, perfect. Okay, is that right? Yeah. There's you. Okay. Let's see where you're at right now. Okay, you are thinking a lot, right? But it has to do more with, it's like you're kind of, you want to make sure, again, if you're in your head too much, or there's too many ideas, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to try that, it's things are pulling you in different directions. Please pay attention to this little day to day. It'll bring you back in there. I feel like this 9 is looking up at other people. So maybe some other people in your life are not feeling so good, or this could be someone older than you. Could also be somebody who's like, how do I see this? Like they're, well, if you are the one that's needing to help others and they want your help, or they need your help because you just know that, or again, that contract is there, then you can be of great service to pull someone out of their fear zone. But I also see there are certain things that you cannot do, especially if it's just check in with what is your responsibility or not. Right? Let's see what your challenge is. Okay. Who's the elder in your family that you respect their opinion, even if they're not around anymore? Who is it that you would, when you were around them, you would want to do your best. You would make sure that you looked nice. You would make sure that you spoke with patience, that you were very careful, sort of, when you were walking, like you didn't... not that you couldn't be yourself, but there was like a level of respect. If you are having to make big decisions in relation to other people, I guess you have to remember also that other people are involved in that decision. So again, positive attitude about what you can do or what you can afford. That's very helpful. Let's see what's going on with work. Oh, work's awesome. Okay, good. We talked about this last year on your birthday, Cancer, where you want to make sure that your private life, like home, family, things like that, lovers, whatever, that private life and your public life, they always intertwine, but you got to make sure what's yours and what is someone else's. This is why boundaries are very important. Saturn is your opposite, right? People need boundaries. You need to know These need to be set in place to a certain extent to realize where you stop and where someone else begins, right? If not, then it's too blurred, and there may be something for some of you where something's blurry. But I see that if, for instance, if you're not feeling good about work, or you're not feeling the energy for something, to put energy into something, it means you're focusing too much on things that you cannot control or that are not your responsibility, right? Everybody needs to be responsible for themselves. If they cannot, again, and you are like a caretaker, or you are a person that is, this is your job, that's different, but you still need to know when to hold on, right, dog, and when to let go. Let's see your spiritual lesson attached to that. Ooh, the Joker. What major do I see? Hold on. I see a frog. Where que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. You can make a big difference in your day-to-day, but you have to know the difference between you and me. I mean, we're all one, sure. But when you have a direction, when you have a direction, right? And it takes training, right? Something here takes training. Maybe some of you need to train, or you're training for something new. You're trying something new to a certain extent. There may be a bit of trial and error with something, but if you know what the plan is, then maybe this will help you to, expand some of that knowledge. Right, maybe this will give you the inspiration of like, ooh, I do want to learn about that, and what would it take? What do you need to learn about? Because right now, you also, if you make the time for it, you kind of solidify something, and then you succeed again in having more inspiration or more energy, creation in your day-to-day. Not just like the humdrum hardness around regularity or routine, right? It's almost like, because you create how you feel, you create how you want to feel around that space. And I would say also Pisces reading will be helpful for you. Who are your friends that live afar? Maybe a friend comes to visit you, or you go to visit a friend too. That's possible. Or maybe that's something that you want to talk about. Like, again, this could also be talking again to others about what the plans are, because even your own individual plans in some way or another connect to other people. So again, what are their thoughts? But you want to make sure that you have your own too. It's just wise, I find, for Cancer to be aware of that, so that you don't get lost. You don't become lost or go astray. Right? Because there's some kind of really beautiful gift that's coming to you through you also not giving up on something, or finding the positivity and almost like pushing through when you need to, but not so much that you are burning yourself out. It's because when you love what you do, then everything's golden. It was just 1919. You know what I mean? If you love what you do, it doesn't drain your energy. For the most part, Alrighty, Roo. Thank you for being here. I do hope you have the most wonderful birthday. Actually, I want to see your face before we go. I sat in the pool all weekend. First time I took a relaxing day and a half without doing, and no, it was so beautiful. Please enjoy your birthday. I hope you have a great time. And if you're Cancer somewhere else in your map, I just hope you have a great month whenever you find this. And if anything does bubble up, it needs to. So try not to ignore how you feel too, because that's a part of it, right? Right, because for instance, part of that routine for some of you could very well be resting somewhat. You know what I mean? Having a better... I'll tell you a little something before we go. Recently, my energy was a little bit low, and I was trying to, like, get back on the horse, you know, but it was almost like it was going too fast. I couldn't get my leg up over it just enough. And so I was doing what I could, and then I started asking, you know, I was just like, oh, I want more energy, I want more enthusiasm, I want more passion, I want more inspiration, I want. And then what I realized is, like, what I needed was actually to ask to be fully rested 21. I was like, you know, what I want is to feel rested, because I know that that's what I need to be able to find the enthusiasm, inspiration, creativity, passion for something, right? Words are magic. I love you so much. Please take care, and thank you, any of you who support this space and the work you're doing in yourselves, and wherever you have spread your seeds of love and goodness, and thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Peace out.